hard, and other people can do it for you. But you can just do a Google search on customizing Twitter backgrounds, or just Twitter backgrounds, and there'll be all sorts of backgrounds you can customize and put on there. So do that, because people look at your site and they will follow you or not follow you, or make that decision in a split second. And if you have a nice background, if it's laid out well, people will follow you. The fourth thing is, with Twitter you can follow other people even if they're not following yet. One of the keys is to follow the right people. If you want to build a list of people, you want to build a list of people who have a similar interest to you. And so what are your interests? What is your business? What are your skills? What are your hobbies? Find people that have that. You can do a search. In fact, there's a program that I use on my laptop here, and it's called TweetDeck. And it's just, you probably can't see it very good there, but let me just show it to you. TweetDeck is a simple program where you can just you can group, or you can search for different things. Just put a word in and search, and so you can go in there. It's just tweetdeck.com. You can download it on your computer, and it's actually a better interface, a better way to use Twitter than actually the twitter.com. But you can see all sorts of things on there. So you can search for different things, and so you want to follow the right people. The next thing is to ask questions and interact. You know, it is social media. People don't want to be sold stuff. You know, this is one of the biggest mistakes people make. And when I first got on Twitter, I asked people some questions. How come that people are just trying to sell stuff? You go on this, often you'll get a Twitter and it'll have a link on it and says, go to my site, and you go there and it's just they're trying to sell you stuff. Well, you don't walk into someone's home or into a party and say, oh, hi, how are you? I'm Bob Jones, and by the way, here's something I want you to buy. You don't do that. It's about building relationships. Don't make the mistake that 95% of the people make on Twitter, trying to get people to buy something from them. That's the wrong purpose. People are smart these days. They won't do that. It's about building relationships. And so make sure you do that. Asking questions is a good thing to do to help people interact. If people ask you a question, or if people send you something or reply to something that you've put on there, answer them back, because it's interactive. It's interactive. It's not just this one-way communication. The more you interact, the more people will be interested in you, and the more people will follow. By the way, if you're actually chatting to someone or replying to someone, and someone else on your list is watching that, and they haven't not following the other person, then they'll go and follow the other person, so they can be in on the communication. And that's another tip, by the way, is you can be in on, if someone's chatting about something you're interested in, you can contribute valuably, then make sure you say, hey, I've got some information for you. Help people out. It's an amazing medium for that. I had a person ask me recently, what do you do if you know, someone's bagged you or bagged your company or your product? And I was able to share on Twitter there and then a whole range of things, and they come back and said, thank you so much, it's helped us enormously to overcome this huge challenge. And so that's what it's about. You're just sharing, and people will follow you because of sharing. And another thing is follow other people. Follow about 30 to 50 people a day to start off with. Start following them. Now, not everyone will follow you back, but probably about 60% will. And if you're providing valuable information, some content, sharing about your life, your dog, your cat, your kids, whatever it is, then people will follow you. And if you're interested in them, they'll be interested in you. If you follow 30 to 50 people a day to start off with, you'll start building and growing your list quicker than you can believe. And it won't be long before you'll be cracking a champagne or a bubbly when you hit the 1,000 mark. And the 7th tip, so I've said, always use your name, tip number 1. Tip number 2 is always have your picture there. Tip number 3 is customize your background. Tip number 4 is follow the right people. You want to follow the right people, that you're interested in, or is it within your work or hobby or list environment, if you like. Ask questions and interact is tip number 5. Tip number 6 is follow 30 to 50 people a day. And by the way, unfollow people who don't follow you back. So in say less than a week, if people are not following you in a week, they're probably not going to. Unfollow them. You don't want to be following someone who's not following you unless it's someone really important that you respect and you want to get their tweets. And the 7th one is, well, what do you tweet about? There's all sorts of things you can tweet about. And the first thing is tweet about helping other people, looking at how you can help make other people's lives better. Make them laugh. If you've got a joke, if you've got something to share that's funny, someone's told you there's something that's funny. If you see a joke from someone else, you can do what's called retweet it. And it's good to do that. So retweet someone else's joke or someone else's information that people will find interesting. Keep people informed. I remember when we had the not long ago, you might know, we had the bushfires in Victoria. Well, those bushfires were only minutes away from our home. And when they started, I was only new to Twitter, but I started tweeting out all the information that was put out by the CFA, the Country Fire Association, because it was really important information. And people around the world wanted to know what was happening with the bushfires in Australia. Well, it was a pretty anxious time for us because it was minutes away from our home. But people wanted to know that, and they wanted to follow the information. They were interested in that. Always compliment and praise people. That's really important. Compliment and praise. If someone comes on there and just says they've just got a degree, or they've just done something amazing, or they've just reached the 1,000 mark on Twitter, praise them, compliment them, because we all like to get that, and we don't get enough of it in the real world. And so people love that sort of thing. And the last thing is what you do. You can tweet about what you do as far as your business or your job, but make sure it's only a small part of what you do, because people don't want to be bored with everything about what you do in your business all the time. It's about interacting. It's like having a conversation when you're at a party or at a barbecue. So there's some tips that will make a massive difference. So always have your name, always have your picture, customize your background, follow the right people, ask questions and interact, follow about 30 to 50 people a day, and then tweet about interesting stuff. And that's really it. And you'll start to build up followers faster than you can believe. Now, if you found this of value, why don't you make a comment in the video section here? Make a comment under the video, and if you want to know more information, or you want to learn some more things that I found out either by listening to people like Perry, or by figuring it out myself, or from other people, let me know, and I'll produce another video like this. And if it's helpful, that's great. And because when I got started on Twitter, I had no idea what it was. And now I guess it's over a couple of thousand followers in a very short time. So, yeah, enjoy. And by the way, if you're not following me, make sure you go to twitter.com, sign up, and it's just David Schirmer, DAVIDSCHIRMER, all lower case letters. Just follow David Schirmer. That's the best thing to do, and on there occasionally I share about my blog, which is just www.davidschirmer.com. You can have a look at that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and let me know if you have, and if you've got some criticism, let me know that too. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.